Governor Christie, I want to engage you and Governor Huckabee in a subject that is a big issue in both of your campaigns, and that is entitlement reform. You say that to save the system, you want to raise the retirement age, have to raise the retirement age, and to cut benefits for Social Security and Medicare. And you say that some of the candidates here on the stage are lying. Governor Huckabee says he can save Social Security and Medicare without doing any of that. Is he lying?
No, he's not lying. He's just wrong. I mean, so there's a difference. Listen, I'm the only guy on the stage who's put out a detailed 12-point plan on entitlement reform, and here's why. Because 71% of federal spending right now is on entitlements and debt service. 71%. And we have spent the last hour and 5 minutes talking about the other 29% and no time on the 71%. And that makes no sense. Now, let me tell you exactly what we would do on Social Security. Yes, we'd raise the retirement age 2 years and phase it in over 25 years. That means we'd raise it 1 month a year for 25 years when we're all living longer and living better lives. Secondly, we would means test Social Security for those who are making over $200,000 a year in retirement income and who have $4 to $5 million in liquid assets saved. They don't need that Social Security check. Social Security is meant to be to make sure that no one who's worked hard and played by the rules and paid into the system grows old in poverty in America. If we don't deal with this problem, it will bankrupt our country or lead to massive tax increases, neither one that we want in this country.
Governor Huckabee, you say that changing entitlements, the kind of thing that Governor Christie is talking about, would be breaking a promise to the American people. And you say that you can keep those programs, save Social Security, save Medicare, without those kinds of reforms through a fair tax, which is a broad tax on consumption. Please explain to Governor Christie how that would work and how you could save these programs without the kind of painful reforms he says we need.
Let's all be reminded 60 million Americans are on Social Security. 60 million. A third of those people depend on 90% of their income from Social Security. Nobody in this country is on Social Security because they made the decision when they were starting work at 14 that they wanted to entrust some of their money with the government. The government took it out of their check whether they wanted them to or not. And if a person goes to 65, they're going to spend 51 years with the government reaching into their pocket at every paycheck. Now, here's the point. Whose fault is it that the system is screwed up? Is it the recipients or is it the government? And if Congress wants to mess with the retirement program, why don't we let them start by changing their retirement program and not have one, instead of talking about getting rid of Social Security and Medicare that was robbed $700 billion to pay for Obamacare? It's always that the government figures that they can do this off the backs of people, many of whom are poor and depend on that money. And I just think it's fundamentally lying to the people and stealing from them, and we shouldn't be doing it.
Chris.
30 seconds.
Yeah, sure. I don't disagree with ending Congress's retirement program. I'm a governor. I don't have a retirement program in my state, and I don't disagree with that. But here's the news for the American people. He's complaining about the lying and stealing. The lying and stealing has already occurred. The trust fund is filled with IOUs. We can't fix the problem just by entering Congress's retirement. That's worth about this much. We need to go at the fundamental problem. And the fundamental problem is that this system is broken. It has been stolen from. We have been lied to. We need a strong leader to tell the truth and fix it.
All right, this is it. 30 seconds finally.
Well, you ask about how we fund it. One of the reasons that Social Security is in so much trouble is the only funding stream comes from people who get a wage. The people who get wages is declining dramatically. Most of the income in this country is made by people at the top who get dividends and capital gains. The fair tax transforms the process by which we fund Social Security and Medicare, because the money paid at consumption is paid by everybody, including illegals, prostitutes, pimps, drug dealers, all the people that are freeloading off the system now. That's why it ought to be a transformed system.
All right. All right. Enough. Mr. Trump.
It's getting a little R-rated. So now every candidate will have the opportunity to make a closing statement tonight. Each candidate will have 30 seconds for that. And we start with Governor Perry.
Well, this is going to be a show me, don't tell me election. I think America's just a few good decisions and a leadership change at the top away from the best years we've ever had. And I think that the record of the governor of the last 14 years of the 12th largest economy in the world is just the medicine America's looking for. 1.5 million jobs created during the worst economic time this country's had since the Great Depression, while the rest of the country lost 400,000 jobs. We're talking about a state that moved graduation rates forward from 27th in the nation to second highest. As a matter of fact, if you're Hispanic or African American in Texas, you have the #1 high school graduation rates in America. Americans are looking for somebody that's going to give them hope. And there is a place in this country over the last 8 years in particular that talked about hope every day, and they didn't just talk about it, they delivered it. And that was the state of Texas. And if we can do that in Texas, that 12th largest economy in the world, we can do it in America. Our best days are in front of us. We can reform those entitlements. We can change that corporate tax code and lower it. We can put America back on track on a growth level and a growth rate that we've never seen in the history of this country. Manufacturing will flow back into this country. It just needs a corporate executive type at the top that's done it before. And I will suggest to you, nobody's done it like Rick Perry's done it over the last 8 years. And if you elect me president, we will bring incredible growth back to this country. And as someone who's worn the uniform of the country, that's how we build our military back up.
Thank you, Governor. Senator Santorum.
I'll tell you how optimistic I am about America. Karen and I have 7 children. You don't have 7 children and bring them into this world if you're not optimistic about the future of this country. I am, but people are upset, and they're upset for a reason about the future of this country. Donald Trump actually seized on it when he talked about immigration. And I think the reason he did is because immigration is sort of an example of what's broken and what's wrong in Washington, D.C. You see, you have one side, the Democrats, and with immigration, all they care about is votes. They don't care about American workers. They just care about bringing as many people in so they can get as many votes as they can. On the other side, you have so many Republicans, and what do they care about? Helping business make profits. But there's nobody out there looking out for the American worker. I'm looking out for the American worker. I'm the only one in this stage who has a plan that's actually going to reduce immigration, actually going to do something to help the American worker. And you combine that with a plan to make manufacturing this country #1 in manufacturing, you've got someone who's going to help revitalize and give hope to America where the places that is the most hopeless today. That's why I ask for your support for president.
All right, Senator, thank you.
Governor Jindal.
You know, we've got a lot of great talkers running for president. We've already got a great talker in the White House. We cannot afford 4 more years of on-the-job training. We need a doer, not a talker. We also need a nominee, a candidate who will endorse our own principles. Jeb Bush says we got to be willing to lose the primary in order to win the general. Let me translate that for you. That's the establishment telling us to hide our conservative principles to get the left and the media to like us. That never works. If we do that again, we will lose again. We will deserve to lose again. One principle, for example, we've got to embrace is on immigration. We must insist on assimilation. Immigration without assimilation is an invasion. We need to tell folks who want to come here, they need to come here legally. They need to learn English, adopt our values, roll up their sleeves, and get to work. I'm tired of the hyphenated Americans and the division. I've got the backbone, I've got the bandwidth, I've got the experience to get us through this. I'm asking folks not just to join my campaign, but join a cause. It is time to believe in America again.
Thank you, Governor.
Carly Fiorina, closing statement.
Hillary Clinton lies about Benghazi. She lies about emails. She is still defending Planned Parenthood, and she is still her party's front runner. 2016 is going to be a fight between conservatism and a Democrat Party that is undermining the very character of this nation. We need a nominee who is going to throw every punch, not pull punches, and someone who cannot stumble before he even gets into the ring. I am not a member of the political class. I am a conservative. I can win this job. I can do this job. I need your help. I need your support. I will, with your help and support, lead the resurgence of this great nation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Senator Graham.
We need somebody ready to be commander-in-chief on day one, who understands there are no moderates in Iran. They've been killed a long time ago. That the Ayatollah is a radical jihadist who really means it when he chants death to America, death to Israel. And this deal is giving him a pathway to a bomb, a missile to deliver it, and money to pay for it all. We need a president who can solve our problems, bring us together. We're becoming Greece if we don't work together. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, our best days are ahead of us only if we work together, and I intend to put this country on a path of success by working together and doing the hard things that should have been done a very long time ago.
To Governor Pataki, closing statement now.
With all the candidates, why me? My background is different. I look at Washington and I hear the talk and I see the promises, and it seems nothing ever changes. Washington gets bigger, taxes get higher, and the American people feel more distanced from our government. I had the opportunity not just to run, but to win in the deep blue state of New York 3 times. And not only did I win, but I then worked with a Democratic legislature to put in place the most sweeping conservative reforms of any state in America, taking us from the most dangerous state in America to the 4th safest, reducing our welfare rolls by over 1 million and replacing over 700,000 private sector jobs. I can govern by bringing people together. And also, I've been tested in a way no one else has. I was governor on September 11th, and I'm proud of my leadership in bringing New York through that times. And when I left, we were stronger, we were safer, and we were more united than at any time in my lifetime. We need to bring people together in Washington. The talk has got to stop. The action has got to begin. People can promise you something. I delivered in the blue state of New York. I will deliver for the American people if I have the privilege of leading this country.
Thank you, Governor.
Governor Gilmore.
Well, I was a conservative governor of Virginia. I governed that way, and that's my track record. But the key thing that we're seeing now is serious challenges of this country that must change. The direction of this nation must change. And that's why I've offered a specific program to the people of America tonight to address the fundamental problem of getting our country growing again, getting our economy growing, wages up, opportunities for people. And second, the international crisis we are facing is most dreadful and most dangerous. I have the experience as a prosecutor, attorney general, governor, United States Army intelligence veteran, governor during the 9/11 attack, chairman of the Terrorism Commission for this country. It's time for real substance and real experience. And that's what I offer to the people of the United States in this candidacy for the presidency.
Thank you, Governor.